Close your eyes for a second. Think of something, anything, a memory, a plan, a feeling you had yesterday. Now try to hold that thought without using a single word. You can't do it. Every thought you have is built from language. Every emotion you have, you name, every decision you make, even the voice inside your head right now is speaking in words. So here's a question that sounds simple but isn't. What were humans doing before any of that existed? Not before writing, not before books, before the first word was ever spoken by anyone anywhere on earth. What was it actually like to be a human then? Most people assume language just appeared. Like at some point a caveman grunted the right grunt and suddenly humans could talk, but that's not what happened. Not even close. Language didn't appear. It evolved slowly over hundreds of thousands of years. And during all that time, humans were still alive, still hunting, still building relationships, still raising children, still forming groups, without a single shared word. Think about what that actually means. You're hungry. You can't say hungry. You can't point a food and say food. You can't have a word for food. You don't have a word for anything. So what do you do? You make a sound, a grunt, a gesture. You grab someone's arm and pull. You make eye contact and hope they understand. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And when they don't, yes, nothing you can do about it. That's what early human life actually looked like. And here's what it gets complicated. We tend to imagine early humans as simple, primitive, and almost animal-like. But that's wrong. The human brain was already large and complex long before language appeared. These were intelligent creatures, curious, social, emotional. They felt fear and loyalty and grief. They remembered things. They planned ahead. They just couldn't talk about any of it. Imagine trying to teach someone something, really teach them something complex without words. You can demonstrate, you can show, but the moment you leave, they are on their own. There's no way to explain why, no way to warn them about what happens if they get it wrong, no way to pass on the story that happened before they were born. Every generation started almost from zero. This is what changed everything. At some point, and researchers still argue about exactly when humans began combining sounds into patterns, not just single sounds for single things, but sounds that could be rearranged, sounds that could be layered, sounds that created meaning that didn't exist before. And when that happened, something extraordinary occurred. Suddenly, one human could hold the thought and give it to another human, not physically, not by demonstration, but directly mind to mind. A hunter could describe a terrain he had visited 3 days ago. A mother could explain a danger she had survived years before. An elder could pass on knowledge that no one else had witnessed firsthand. For the first time in human history, the dead could teach the living. Think about that. Before language, when someone died, everything they had learned died with them. Every hard lesson, every close call, every discovery about which plants would kill you and which would heal you. Gone every time. After language, none of that had to disappear. It could be spoken, remembered, repeated, and passed forward. This is why language didn't just communication. It changed what humans were capable of becoming. But here's the thing people miss. Language didn't just let humans share information. It let them share imagination, and that was even more powerful. Before language, cooperation meant doing something together in the present, hunting together, building something together. Both parties had to be there, both had to see it. After language, humans could cooperate around things that couldn't exist yet. They could plan for the future. They could make agreements. They could describe a world they wanted to build and organize an entire group around making it happen. They could invest stories, shared beliefs, explanations for the thunder, rituals, rules, gods. None of these things exist in nature. You can't touch them. You can't point at them. They exist only as ideas. Ideas that can only survive inside language. And those ideas become the invisible architecture of every human society ever built. Laws, religion, money, marriage, nations, all of it started as a story someone told and others agreed to believe. Without language, none of it would have been possible. Here's what makes it truly strange. Language is so embedded in how we think that we can't even imagine thinking without it. Researchers have studied people who lost the ability to speak or understand words due to brain injuries, and many of them describe a terrifying experience, not just inability to communicate, but the sense that their inner world has become foggy, disconnected, like thinking about static. This suggests that language isn't just a tool we use to express our thoughts. It may actually be structure that makes complex truth possible in the first place, which raises a question no one has fully answered. Before language existed, what was the inner world of human actually like? Not empty, certainly not empty. There were sensations, emotions, memories in images and sounds and smells. But was there self-awareness? Was there the ability to imagine yourself in the future, to plan a life, to wonder about death? We don't know. What we do know is this. The moment language appeared, the rate of human development exploded. Tools became more sophisticated. Art appeared on cave walls. Trade between distant groups began. Communities grew larger. Civilization started to form. Everything is accelerated, not because human brains suddenly become smarter. The brains were already there. The intelligence was already there. What changed was the ability to connect those brains, to let one mind reach into another and leave something behind. Language turned individual intelligence into a collective intelligence, and collective intelligence had no ceiling. So the next time a word floats into your mind effortlessly, the next time you read a sentence, follow a direction, tell someone how you're feeling, remember what that actually is. It is a simple, most powerful technology humans were created, and it didn't come from the lab. It didn't come from the machine. It didn't come from the genius sitting alone with brilliant idea. It came from thousands of generations of humans reaching towards each other in the dark, trying imperfectly, desperately to be understood.